guys? It's gone, and today we'll be looking at 5 winners and 5 losers, in my opinion, based off rounds 1 through 10 and the MLB draft. Every year we see teams reach for players, but also teams that grab excellent value, seeing where they are picking. However, the MLB draft is different, as reaching for a less talented player can also be good, as it saves more signing bonus money for later, essentially making your future picks more valuable. Plus, with the inconsistency of the MLB draft, these winners and losers might not look the same in 5 to 10 years from now, as a 10th round pick surprises everyone or a first round pick burns up in flames. That's what makes doing these rankings interesting, because we can come back to this video in a decade and see what we got royally wrong and right. Before we get onto this video, could you guys please hit the subscribe button? Currently, only 3% of people who watch my videos are subscribed, so if y'all do, not only would it help me grow my channel, but I would very much appreciate it. And without further ado, let's get on to the video. Our first and probably biggest winner is the Miami Marlins, who in my mock draft I said that they would select the most talented player regardless, and they kept to that strategy by selecting Khalil Watson at 14. This pick was excellent value, as many people had him going in the top 10 and often the top 5. Khalil Watson has the potential to be a 5-tool player if he grows more power into his smooth swing, and my player comp for him was Rafael Devers. However, that alone would probably put them on the list, but they were able to get Joe Mack, who is probably a top 20 prospect at 19, and another talented high school prospect in Cody Morsetti. The Marlins' plan was to draft talented high school prospects, and this draft worked out in their favor for getting above-average players for their position. Our second winner is the Detroit Tigers, who may have reached to select a right-handed pitcher in Jackson Jobe at 3, but that's fine, as they could probably sign him to a lower slot value than the shortstops that were still on the board. That allowed them to get what, in my opinion, was the biggest steal of the draft in selecting Ty Madden at 32. Now, in almost every draft rankings, Ty Madden was in the top 10, and I mocked him to the Angels at 9. So, it's a shocker that the big right-hander with some wipeout secondary pitches could fall out of the first round entirely and land right into the Tigers' lap. Their other picks were great too, selecting Isaac Pacheco in the second round, even though he's a first-round talent, and also Dylan Smith out of Alabama with their third-round pick. Another winner is the Pirates, who may have shocked some people by selecting Henry Davis at 1, but in my opinion, they selected the player with the highest upside, and that talent and upside is what teams always want to draft. Henry Davis is a great player with quick bat speed and should be able to stay at catcher, and my mock to him was JT Realmuto, but a better comp for him would be Will Smith, as they both came out of Louisville. So, while some people think that this pick was a reach, I think that it's just fine. In their second round, they were able to select Anthony Solamento, who was definitely first-round talent and probably could have been a top first-round talent. However, it doesn't stop there as well, with them drafting another first-round talent in top 20 player Bubba Chandler at 72. If they are able to sign all of their picks, the Pittsburgh Pirates could have multiple steals and have teams shaking their heads at missing them. While many people think that Cincinnati's draft was just average at best, I really like their picks this year, and it starts them with getting Matt McClain at 17, who many people had him going in the top 15. He's a great fit with the team, as he's an excellent defender and should be MLB ready within the next few years. He's a high floor prospect who also has the potential to be one of the stars in the league with his quick bat speed. I really like this pick here. And they're also able to select left-handed pitcher Andrew Abbott in the second round, who, if they sign and develop, should be one of the steals of the entire draft. Our last winner is the Boston Red Sox, who were able to possibly get the best prospect in the entire draft, according to MLB Pipeline, and selecting shortstop Marcio Meyer at 4. Meyer has a smooth swing and should be able to develop some power as he ascends through the minors. In the future, this pick could be one of the greatest steals in MLB draft history, and a great what if the Pirates, Rangers, and Tigers got him instead. However, they were also able to draft Judd Fabian in the second round, who was a non-consensus first-round pick according to every mock draft. The Red Sox were able to bolster their average farm system and possibly aid an already talented team with more talent in the near future. Our first loser here is the Houston Astros. I know this is cheap, but when you lose your first and second round picks, the talent drops off considerably, and your chances of selecting an impact player fall off a cliff. Even with their first pick in the third round, they got someone who looks like to be a project and not very projectable. With their fourth pick, they select another shortstop in Alex Yulia, who these picks don't really make sense as Carlos Correa is still on the team and should be kept in the long run, so I don't understand why they should draft a shortstop here. Our next loser is the Los Angeles Angels, and they definitely had a golden opportunity to select a great pitcher in Kumar Rocker, who would definitely be the anchor in their pitching rotation for a long time. Instead, the Angels took Sam Bachman at 9 instead of Kumar, who was taken a pick later, to the New York Mets. While Sam Bachman in the end may end up having a better career than Kumar, it was widely seen that Kumar has the higher ceiling and is less likely to end up being a reliever. Sam Bachman, due to a lower arm slot delivery, has a lot of reliever risk, and that's the last thing that the Angels need due to a desperate search for starting pitching. The Kansas City Royals stocked up on pitching by taking pitchers with their first 5 picks, and they may have reached on many of them. Their first pick was for Frank Mazzucato, who they drafted at 7 and may have bought into the hype of his 4 straight no-hitters in high school too much. In my opinion, they were both players with higher ceilings and higher floors left in the draft in Kumar Rocker and Sam Bachman. Overall, they drafted a project at 7 when there were safer prospects still left on the board and prospects who probably will have better careers in the long run. The San Diego Padres, throughout their first 10 picks, have failed to draft any high-impact players and also made some puzzling long-term decisions by drafting a shortstop and 2 pitchers in their first 3 picks, both of which they have an excess of, long-term. It may have been excusable if they drafted above-average talent for their slot value, but they drafted third-round talent in all of their first 3 rounds. Scouts say that Jackson Merrill, their first-round pick, has just average bat speed and power, which is not someone that should be drafted in the first round, and maybe someone that they should have taken a flyer of in the middle rounds, such as the 5th round instead. Lastly, we come to the New York Yankees, and many people are puzzled by their draft decisions, including I, as they don't see any impact players drafted within the first 10 picks. It starts with them drafting a shortstop in the first round, who is likely second-round talent. It's probably going to have to change positions to either second base or third base due to his below-average speed and athleticism. Then, they draft pitcher Beck Brennan in the second round, who is definitely major league ready soon, but he doesn't really have as much upside as others, such as Doug Nikazi, who was only drafted 4 picks later by the Indians and is seen as much better value than the Yankees at 55. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, if you enjoyed, please like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below new video ideas. With the trade deadline coming up soon, I'm probably going to post a few more videos about that, but any video suggestions are always welcome. Thank you guys. Bye.